Hey y'all, you're listening to the Correctional Junkie Podcast, real talk for real people in high pressure environments. I'm your host, Nurse B, and this is episode 30. Now this episode is for listeners, for you all to learn how to stay calm, focused, and emotionally steady in the middle of chaos. Especially powerful for my correctional staff, nurses, and anyone who lives under constant pressure. Let's be honest, most of us live in survival mode. We're either replaying the past or worrying about what's next. But how often do we just stop and exist right here, in this moment? This episode is all about grounding in the present, learning how to stay connected to the present when your mind wants to run. Because in this line of work or in life, if you lose your sense of presence, you lose your peace. So what does grounding really mean, y'all? Grounding, pulling your attention back to now. It's a psychological and physical technique to manage anxiety, flashbacks, panic, or emotionally overwhelmed. It reminds your brain and your body, you're safe, you're here. Think of grounding as a mental anchor. When waves of stress hit, you throw that anchor down, and it keeps you from drifting too far into panic, fear, or overthinking. When you're inside a unit and an incident breaks out, your brain can go from 0 to 100 real fast. Grounding helps you stay focused, think clearly, and avoid reaction-based mistakes. Let me tell you, I've seen so many situations go from bad to worse because people are not grounding. They don't stay in the present. And you have to bring it all back, right? Bring it all back. And just stop where you're at. Just stop where you're at. Because the goal is to stay in control, right? That's why your body and your brain get together to remind us, hey, you good, you safe, okay? Come on back, you here. We good. You good, we good. When you're overwhelmed or emotionally flooded, during flashbacks, or when anxiety spikes, after intense conversations or incidents, when you're having racing thoughts or can't sleep. I think a lot of us have gone through all or some of these. I know I have. You get a lot of your military people will suffer from flashbacks, and so anybody traumatized, once again, PTSD all day, suffer from flashbacks. And that's another reason why situations get out of control, right? Because we don't know how do I bring it back? How do I snap out of it? So during that flashback, things elevate, right? Depending on what your flashback is. It could be a good flashback, but most flashbacks are not good flashbacks. They're bad flashbacks. So grounding doesn't mean ignoring your pain, but it means finding safety inside that storm. And we have to be able to find safety inside the storm. There are some grounding techniques, right? There's one called the 5-4-3-2-1, right? This is one of my favorite techniques because it can be done anywhere. You can do it in your car, at your desk, in the middle of a chaotic situation. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath first. Now, focus on your surroundings, and you go through each step. 5 things you can see. Look around right now and name 5 things. A wall, your shoes, your hands, your badge, and you probably got a coffee cup. Guess what? Boom. 5 things you can see, right? But people don't think it like that. They look all over the place. Then think of 4 things you can touch. You can feel the seat that's beneath you, right? The texture of your clothes, your keys, your pen, right? 3 things you can hear. You can hear the humming of the AC, your own breath, the sound of footsteps, and distant voices. Then 2 things you can smell. Maybe it's your lotion or the scent of that disinfect, or I don't know, your coffee might smell really good. And 1, things you can taste. It could be a sip of water, or you might notice a taste in your mouth. That's awareness. This method forces the brain to focus on the now, not the what if. If you're taking back control of your mind, it's you taking it back, right? It's you taking back that control. And that was not a crazy thing to do. It's something that literally we do, and some of us probably do it without even thinking about that. That's what we're doing. You know, it's the 5-4-3-2-1. You know? Sometimes you don't have to run through a list, and that's okay. You can still ground yourself physically, right? You know, like, you could do this. You could press your feet firmly into the floor and feel the weight. Place your hand over your heart and notice your heartbeat. You can run some cool water over your hands. Stretch or move your neck, your shoulders, right? I mean, these actions bring your awareness back into your body, pulling you out of your head and back into reality. Because we need that. You know, there was a time I was dealing with intense anxiety after a situation at work. My mind kept replaying it on a loop. The noise, the fear, the adrenaline. You know, one night I stood outside, I looked up at the sky, and I said out loud, I'm here. I'm safe. That moment is over. And for the first time that week, I felt my body exhale. That's what grounding does. It pulls you out of the mental replay and back into the truth of now. I know that's a hard one to kind of accept, right, or look at, but that's what it is. It's pulling you out of that mental replay, and back into the truth of now. And some people are stuck in the mental replay. They don't know how to pull out of it. How do I get back into the truth, into the light? You know, they just stuck right there. You know, so this is a great coping skill. Grounding is a great coping skill. Grounding through the body. Now I have 3 questions, and you can write this down. When do you find your mind drifting to the past or future? For me, it's when something triggers me, right? I get some type of trigger. Or it could be a scent, something you smell. like a meal that your grandmother or your mom used to make, and the aroma from that meal can have you drift into the past. What physical sensations tell you that you're overwhelmed? How do y'all know when y'all are overwhelmed? I know when I'm overwhelmed. I be tripping out. So I have to really okay, whew, do my coping skills to calm myself down, to tell me that it's going to be okay, that this too shall pass. Just, just breathe. Just breathe. And then I have to do little things to pull me out of that mental replay, pull me back into the truth of right now, to let me know, hey, you got this. You got this. Okay, my third question to you is, which grounding technique do you want to try this week? Right? So I named two. Two gave you the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And then we went through the one where you can just put your feet firmly onto the floor and feel their weight. Then place your hand over your heart and notice your heartbeat. Then run cool water over your hands. Stretch or move your neck and your shoulders, right? And then remember, on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 is things you can see. Look around and name 5 things you can see. 4 is 4 things you can touch. 3 is 3 things you can hear. 2 is things you can smell. And 1 is what you can taste. So remember that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Because these are important. Very, very important. Very. Now, let's try a 60-second grounding break together. Wherever you are, I want you to look around and find one thing that makes you feel calm. Now, press your feet into the floor. Take a slow, deep breath. Notice the air moving in and out of your body. You're not in yesterday. You're not in tomorrow. You're here. Right now. Breathing. Safe. I got it? Did you get that? Grounding is a choice to come home to yourself. It doesn't take fancy tools or hours of time, just awareness. Every time you ground yourself, you reclaim a little more peace from chaos. Okay? Every time. You got to remember that. You have to remember that, because this is important. It's a part of your coping. Okay? Now, if this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs a reminder to slow down and breathe. Follow Correctional Junkie for the next episode, The Powerful Power of Movement, where we talk about how to release what your body's been holding on to. Hey y'all, I'm looking forward to that one myself.